The charaka, or the spinning wheel, became the very symbol of nationalism for Indian freedom movement and a sign for the support for Indian national economy. This patrician instrument was discarded on account of the process of mechanization brought in by the British. Gandhiji rediscovered charaka, reattired it once again. Let every Indian household reverberate with the magical tone of charaka. When the wheel started to turn once again, Gandhiji remarked that charaka is a ray of hope for him. The charaka was not just a device, but it is a means of divine melody. It is soothing to the soul with its sweet nectar. Everyone should earn their livelihood through their own labor. For this, he advocated the use of charaka. Establishment of Gram Swaraj was the goal of Gandhiji, who also thought of upliftment of the downtrodden. He always strived to implement this thought. For Gandhiji, the spinning wheel, charaka, appeared to be the most suitable instrument to reach this goal. According to him, it was an instrument to realize self-reliance. Gandhiji proclaimed that he was not antagonist of mechanization, but it should not overrun human beings because heavy machinery promotes the cluster of wealth in one hand, though he may create a few amenities to the laborers. It is still exploitative and a kind of violence too. The sound of charaka filled the air everywhere before the advent of British into India. Large-scale mechanization which they brought with them silenced this melodious sound. Our country used to export crores of rupees worth of homespun cotton 2 centuries ago, but it came to a grinding halt within just 40 years of the arrival of the British. It totally destroyed the high-quality handloom products which were once envied by all the countries, lost their ground completely. The expert weavers lost their source of livelihood, forced to take up agriculture. Many of them starved to death. Gandhiji understood the pitiable condition of the Bengali Muslims who were expert weavers of shabnam, which were renowned all over the world. Artistic skill of the weavers and their respectable occupation became virtually unknown. These weavers left their homes and families, migrated to cities like Bombay. They took up the job of scavengers to survive. This adversely affected their health and they became addicts to alcohol, gambling and other bad habits. These skilled laborers were forced to work as servants to others. Gandhiji was determined to use the goods produced within the country. To practice this principle, he advocated the use of charaka and handmade cloth prepared out of it. Gandhiji learned the skill of taking out the yarn from the charaka in 1915 and later on tried to learn the whole process right from cotton cultivation to cotton making. After years of patience and hard work, Gandhiji adopted the Khadi Vrata to use khadi as a ritual in the year 1919. The charaka attained its due status in Congress agenda in 1921. He expressed his grievances and longing to revive charaka with a dynamic social worker by name Ganga Ben. He urged her to search for people who are skillful in the traditional craft of weaving in nook and corner of Gujarat. She could identify some women who still run charaka in different villages and introduced them to Gandhiji. Gandhiji also appointed an expert weaver to his ashram. The sound of the spinning wheel gave a healing touch to Gandhiji, who was recovering from ill health. Later on, he himself learned to work with the charaka. He took an oath not to have food without weaving at least half an hour daily. He did commit himself to the oath to the rest of his life. He also ensured that the wheel spins in every home. He was so much involved with the charaka that if he was to choose anyone out of Bhagavad Gita, Sri Rama and charaka itself, he used to prefer the last one over the other two. It was not a mere mission, but a means of spiritual meditation and concentration. It was in fact a religious activity for him. He constantly conversed and wrote about it. He used to sell khadi on the streets of Ahmedabad, and his followers emulated him. He found the Charaka Sangh in 1925, which set in motion 50,000 charakas. More than 50,000 people comprising of weavers, printers, dyers were gainfully employed. It also created employment to the rural artisans like carpenters, blacksmiths. Thus, charaka ushered in a new lease of life to the people once again. It brought in self-reliance to the women and food to the hungry. In India, people have lived for thousands of years in a relative harmony with their surroundings. Living in their homesteads, weaving homespun clothes, eating homegrown food, using homemade goods, caring for their animals, forests and lands, celebrating the fertility of the soil with feasts, performing the stories of great epics and building places of worship. Every region of India has developed its own distinctive culture. The village must build a strong economic base to satisfy most of its needs, and all members of the village community should give priority to local goods and services. Whatever is made or produced in this village must be used first and foremost by the members and trading among villages. Swadeshi avoids economic dependence on external market forces that could make the village community vulnerable. Charaka improves skill level of the person using it. There is no need of highly trained engineers to manufacture it. Even the elderly, weak men, women and children above 5 years can work on charaka. Thus, charaka has continued to be the symbol of hope of masses in our society. Other workers can also derive certain benefits by using it. It makes way to earn money, and it is also easy to learn. There is no need of high capital investment. The charaka is omniscient and of multiple utility. However, it is a matter of great regret to see the wastage of natural and human resources, as we have forgotten the immense value of charaka. Gandhiji wanted to introduce the spinning wheel in school education because it serves as the focal point of the child's growth and development of personality. He visualized to introduce the spinning wheel a certain sense of social and national consciousness is very strongly excised. It will teach them how to make right use of time. It will enable them to enrich their mental health along with physical exercise. The spinning wheel teaches the lesson of fellow feeling and sharing experiences of sorrows. To synchronize the practical training of the spinning wheel with intellectual development makes education all the more thrilling and interesting. Thus, the spinning wheel is the focal point of education that preaches the universal truth: work is worship. Khadi is a symbol of simplicity. The khadi cloth suits both rich and poor. It is a symbol of self-respect and self-esteem. If Gandhiji were to be alive today, he would have encouraged the use of computers along with the charaka. Now, our country has become much stronger. The modern economy has gained immense strength with large-scale industrialization. But if charaka is made available in every home, in every village, the country can provide food to everyone and thus solving the food problems. In fact, the charaka has the capacity to prevent outflow of nations' wealth. Charaka is the medium which can unify people. The charaka used by Bapuji was purchased in an auction in the United Kingdom for crores of rupees, which underlies its significance. For Mahatma Gandhiji, charaka is a symbol of simplicity, love and affection and sense of service. It is a symbol of our religion. The charaka revived by Gandhiji is quite relevant today. As we are debating the negative impact of globalization, khadi represents the country's integrity, equality and economic independence. The rotation of the spinning wheel makes us free from economic dependence on others. It is a valuable contribution to the nation's wealth. Development of our country is the development of villages. Mahatma Gandhiji.